Before I start this video, I want to give a shout out to Chochkata for giving me a ride, bro. That's not his real name, but I was going to film this on a lower elevation, and then out of nowhere the homie showed up and he gave me a ride to up here, so thank you, Chochka, bro. So in this video here today, I'm going to be talking about sun gazing, which honestly is a cheat code in life, in my opinion, and it is very beneficial to our human nature. It is a practice that I like to take into my everyday life experience, and you can too if you'd like. One thing I wanted to explain about sun gazing is that if you are a person who wears glasses or contacts, it is recommended that you take them off before doing this practice. And to get the most out of this, to activate your DNA and get into those higher strands, which people call junk DNA, you would want to start eating more of an organic lifestyle diet so that you would be getting the most benefits from sun gazing. If this is a difficult process for you to do, take into consideration the food you may be consuming, if there's any toxic chemicals in that, and if your body is getting all the minerals that it needs, because I know when the body is comprised of more minerals and the right things that it needs, this becomes an easier and more pleasant thing to do. However, over time of practicing this, it just naturally gets easier, and you will see what I mean once you start doing it. So the practice of sun gazing is gazing at the sun to manipulate photons. However, if you are new to this practice, you need to realize that the sun is very powerful and that the light can harm your eyes if you are not adjusted to do this training. There are ways to get around this, and to do this you need to become a practitioner of sun gazing, and you have to focus your gaze upon the sun during the safe hours of the day, which would be the first hour of sunrise and the last hour of sunset. And once you are a more advanced sun gazer, you may be able to do this for longer periods of time, like the first hour and a half and last hour and a half of sunset and sunrise. And the reason we do this is because at that time is when the safe hours of the day are, which is when the UV light produced by the sun is at its lowest point, so it is adaptable for our eyes to look directly into it and use this to our benefit. So if you are new to this, you should be training. Nice, we got a drone up there. But if you are new to this, you can practice this with proper training. And the reason you'd want to do this is so that you don't damage your eyes if you are new. This can be explained like if you were to go to the gym and just try to lift 300 pounds out of nowhere on your first day. You need to build your strength slowly to allow your body and mind to adapt to the sun's rays. And moving too fast can damage your eyes if you're new, so remember we do this during the safe zones or safe hours of the day, which is the first hour of sunrise and last hour of sunset, which the UV index at this point is at 0. So since the rays are not as powerful, this is when we can use this time for our practice. The sun is all of the colors mixed together in one. This appears white to our eyes, and to others it may appear yellow, and I think this is because the sun is a main sequence G2V star, which means it's a yellow dwarf. And one thing I found interesting is that the distance between the sun and the earth is measured in an astronomical unit, which is abbreviated as AU, and AU is also in alchemical terms gold, or also the first part of aura, and that is why some people see it as yellow, as gold yellow. So why stare at the sun? Because the eyes are the window to the soul, and the pineal gland is the seat of the soul. And since your eyes are connected to the brain via the optic nerve, when you look into the sun, the photons and light from the sun are getting absorbed by our brains, and that stimulates our biophotons. Biophotons are photons of light in the ultraviolet light range, and they are produced by a biological system, by our biological system. And all of these spectrums of light can be found in the sunlight, so this is why it has the ability to decalcify our pineal glands. And this practice will also increase the size of your pineal gland. And for most people, the pineal gland shrinks with age, but sun gazing is a way to prevent that. And I have noticed this when I first started. I would stare at the sun for a certain period of time to help notice the effect, and once I closed my eyes, I would see a green light that over time expanded and got bigger. And this is one way I noticed this is actually working, and that it's a practice that should be treasured. This can be proved to be true because a man called Hira Ratan Manek, I hope I'm saying that right, Hira Ratan Manek, had brain scans done to him to prove that this was true and that his pineal gland was getting bigger from this. And he is an elderly male, and if you'd like to learn more about him, you can go on YouTube. He has a lecture, it's like 1 hour on sun gazing. It's called HRM, Lecture on Sun Gazing. Sun gazing is also able to increase the serotonin and melatonin levels of our body. Serotonin is the happy, feel-good hormone in the body, while melatonin is what helps you sleep well at night. Many practitioners of this exercise have reported that this improves eyesight as a result of sun gazing and eating healthy. 9 benefits of sun gazing. One is that it energizes the brain and neurons. It causes them to charge up. 2 is it causes mental peace and clarity. 3 is that it increases serotonin and melatonin, which improves mood and sleep. 4 is that it improves our intuition and our gut feeling, which is the ability to perceive the non-physical. And I consider this to be a psychic ability. 6 is that it decreases the appetite and promotes weight loss. And this is actually a good thing because this can help prolong fasting. And I know Dr. Sebi even said that I think he cured his eyesight with fasting. And then after break fasting, you know, that's why we call it breakfast in the morning, because we break from a fast, from our period of sleep. At that time of fasting for a long time, he ate healthy and organic foods that came only from the sun. And this is another way that it's beneficial. If you were to sun gaze forever and only eat food that came from the sun, our psychic abilities and intuition would increase heavily. 7, it improves our eyesight. It can help you lose your glasses and crutches, or if you wear contacts. 8, it improves your overall health and it gives you more balance. And 9, this helps fight depression. When the sunlight hits our eyes, the optic nerve sends electric impulses to the pineal gland, which is located in the back of our head. And like I said, the eyes are the window to the soul. The seat of the soul is located in the middle, so from the eyes getting the impulse from the sun, sending it through the electric nerve to the seat of the soul, this helps regulate our hormonal balance. And if you are new to doing this practice, you can begin it by closing your eyes if you are not as adjusted. This can help you ease into the practice of sun gazing if you're a beginner. I would recommend tilting your head and allowing the sunlight to make contact with all parts of your eyelids from all angles so that the warm light can prepare you for this. So sun gazing done correctly is always safe. However, those who push their limits and go faster than their body can adjust to will likely damage their eyes. So move slowly with this. The sun is very powerful and the eyes need time to adjust and be able to absorb the light from it. So listen to your body when doing this if you are new. If you start feeling uncomfortable, stop. You know, if your body tells you to stop, then listen to it. And your you're growing intuition with this process, so naturally listen to your instincts. A technique that I would recommend for beginners is to stand barefoot on natural ground. This could be grass, sand, rock. The cement is also well. However, I know some people may potentially get sunburned that way. I naturally have more neuromelanin in my system, and I'm aware of that, so I sometimes do it on cement, but standing on natural ground is a good step for this. Step 2 would be to take deep and full breaths when you focus on your gaze of the sun for about 10 seconds if you're new. Blink if you have to, let go of all tension, and simply focus at the sun to the point where the rays disappear. I've practiced this for very long, so when I start to do this, I see just a pure orb, a circle in the sun. I've been doing this since I was 17 years old. I'm now 21. So it's easy for me to relax my gaze upon this. If you're new, you could breathe. After breathing, you could cover your hands with the palm of your hands to let the sun's afterglow go away. Because when you're new to this, the stain could remain in your vision for days if you're not prepared. And when I first started, I did it for a while, and the stain remained for about at most 30 minutes. Like when I closed my eyes, I could still see that green that I was talking about earlier, but after that it went away. Step 3 to this is on your second day of sun gazing. If you're new, you could add 10 more seconds to looking at the sun, or 5 depending on how not used to this you are. Breathe deeply and focus on your relaxed gaze on the early and safe hours of the sun. Step 4 is if you remain disciplined for long enough with your sun gazing practicing, you'll be able to gaze at the sun for over 45 minutes or more time actually, and this is months after practicing sun gazing. I have noticed myself personally, I think my record is somewhere in between 30 to 42 minutes. However, I know I could prolong this by going hours. There's some people who do this for even 3 hours at a day, which would probably be the max to get the first hour and a half and the last hour and a half. But there are those days, where it gets cloudy and things, so whenever you have time to practice this, it's a good thing to do. One reason I am shirtless while doing this is just so that I can get more carbon 7 all over my body. It helps me naturally. I also view this as a way to gain more chi. You don't have to do it shirtless, but you can choose to if you want. Once you get more advanced with this, you will be able to maybe gain chi straight from the ground. If you know anything about Tai Chi, you could interpret it with this at the same time. And I'm pretty sure that those chi masters that break bricks with their hands and wood probably practice doing this, and they gain chi into their bodies, which can give them super strength. Like if someone were to come at you with the wrong energy and then you hit their freaking face, you might even break someone's neck doing this. However, most people who practice sun gazing are peaceful people, so that probably wouldn't happen. But it is a good way of stacking your energy and practicing to become more of a light being. One thing you can do with this also is practice your Om chants while looking at the sun, because since it does decalcify your third eye, using mantras or chants of your higher chakras, even your 7th chakra, you can use those mantras or mudras to help increase your longevity of sun gazing, and also increase the effects and benefits and have a more spiritual connection with the sun this way. I will also note that if your eyes have a different pigment than brown, this may be a more difficult thing to adjust to. I've only noticed this with one of my blue-eyed friends at first when he started, but anyone can do this, man. It takes practice, determination, and discipline, and the more you do this, the more you will be able to see. Another thing that I will note about sun gazing is when doing this practice, it would be beneficial not to be looking at your phone or having any electrical devices around you during this time, because you would naturally want to be absorbing the rays from an organic portal, which is the sun, and not be using phones that can disrupt that process or anything with the black screen at all. And yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say about that. This is also a multi-dimensional practice. It helps gain more light codes into your system. It helps with the 5D ascension process. If you were fasting for a long period of time, this will help your system adjust to that so that you won't need food as much. And yeah, man, sun gazing is pretty awesome. If I ever have more information, I might make an advanced tutorial to this or give some more advanced tips on sun gazing, but this is all I had to say for this video. This is MC Chill. You guys stay up, stay safe, focused, and balanced. Peace.